Alright, so what's up guys? Before I talk about the gameplay, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to explain a little bit more of the item selections that I take, my masteries, and my rune page as well. What I'm going to start out with is actually going to be the starting items. The three main starting items that you can choose are going to be between very low risk, which would be the starting out with a Doran shield. The reason why that's a very low risk is obvious because it's, you know, you get 100 health, you get armor, you get health regen on top of your passive. So it wouldn't even matter if you get harassed a lot or anything like that, or if you get focused, because you will have, you know, that tankiness early on that you need. Secondly, what you can choose is going to be the regrowth pendant. Reason why that's, you know, not a very bad choice is because basically on top of your passive again, which is a really nice passive. Honestly, it's probably one of the best passives in the game, at least in my opinion, just because you can definitely take a lot of harassment, you know, stay out of the fight for about 7 seconds and then it activates, and then you could just kind of wait for a couple of seconds and then you will basically, you know, it's basically like an infinite health potion. And then the third one that you can take is going to be what I took this game, which will be the normal boots, and then 3 health potions. The reason why I took this is because I was a little bit more confident with Garen, because I kind of know how to play him already. And I knew that we had a very good Udyr, because he's going to be my friend right here, Zorn the Defiler. And I knew that he was going to help gank a lot, and then that will actually help me chase, help me catch up to the kills, and help me, you know, actually secure those kills. Like you saw in the very beginning, I got that double kill because we chased him down and he ganked very nicely. Now this game, what's going to happen is Wukong down at bottom is actually going to feed pretty hard. Just like I was going to feed pretty hard up on top. I think he ended up going 7-0 before we finally took him down, and I think I went like 7-0 before they took me down as well. So basically our goal here, as you can see, I actually did take a Thorn Mail this game. Reason why I took that was because Wukong was feeding so hard, but what he did was actually a very smart move. I don't know if you saw his item list real quick right there, but what he did was he actually did a Madrid's Blood Razor, a Wit's End, and things like that, so that he actually does magic damage as opposed to doing the physical attack damage. You know, if you were going to take a Bloodthirster or you know anything like that. So he did a very smart move. So I actually end up selling my Thorn Mail and taking a Fourth's Nature instead to counter that. So what we're going to be doing after that, my rune page is going to be looking, because I wanted to go very offensive this game so I can actually do damage, since I will get the defensive items anyways. I actually had my seals, quintessences, and marks are going to be critical strike chance, and then my glyphs are actually going to be magic resistance per level, which definitely helped out against this team, since all of them actually did a lot of magic damage. Because as you can see, Teemo there had a lot of magic damage with the Madrid's Blood Razor and the Malady and all of that, and then everybody else was basically magic damage, along with Wukong and his Madrid's and Wit's End. So that definitely helped out because that was the per level, so I got a lot of magic resist from that as well as from my items. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is actually going to be my masteries page. Once again, I wanted to go very offensive with this because I know that I will have the defense to back it up, and if I have that crit chance and everything like that, I will definitely be able to do a lot more damage, do a lot more harassment, and in turn they will be focusing me a lot more, which is what you want to do, since as a tank your whole goal is to basically take the brunt of the damage, take everybody's focus away from your carries, so that your carries can do all the damage while you soak up all the damage. So now we come to the important part of the guide, and that would be what are the type of items that you want to get as Garen. The type of items that I get, especially early on, as you saw, the very first item I got was actually going to be boots, because I was pretty confident, as I said before. And then what I'll do is I will actually get 3 health potions. My next items are going to be the Heart of Gold and the Avarice Blade. The reason why I get those is because I will be upgrading those into the Randuin's Omen and the Yomu's Ghost Blade eventually, so might as well get that early on because that will give you a good amount of health as well as gold per level, or gold per fives. And the Avarice Blade is going to give you the gold per 5 as well as the crit chance, which is definitely going to help you out with dealing a lot of damage, especially with your judgment, since that is what that stacks on. Then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to upgrade your boots. I did boots of speed because I really wanted to chase down these kills. I wanted to really be a nuisance in the team fights. Another good choice you can do is actually going to be Mercury treads. That does a lot of good because that'll help you keep moving around. But since I did have my judgment, and for those of you who don't know, your E ability, the judgment, actually, if you activate it while you're being slowed or anything like that, or being CC'd, when you activate that, that will actually stop the CC from happening, and then you can just keep going on. And keep harassing, keep being a nuisance within their team. And then, so since I went with Boots of Speed, I wanted to keep moving around in the team fight, keep being a nuisance, and try and keep them from attacking your carries. So with the next item, what you're going to do is you're actually going to grab yourself a pretty staple item since the early days of Garen, which would be the Sunfire Cape. And the reason why is because it does a lot of damage. It definitely adds the damage onto your judgment ability. It helps you clear out waves, it helps you get the gold, as well as it gives you health and armor, which are also much needed on Garen. So it helps you stay alive, and it helps you do a lot more damage with basically any spell. So basically it's like an extra area effect spell, which is a yes please for Garen. After this, what you're going to do is you're going to upgrade your Avarice Blade into a Yomu's Ghost Blade. It gives you a lot of crit chance, gives you armor penetration, it gives you really good movability, especially with the active to help you chase down, to help you be a nuisance. That's a very good item, so right after you get your Sunfire Cape, you want to upgrade your Avarice Blade into a Yomu's Ghost Blade. It's a great item on Garen. Now after that, what you're going to do is you're going to have to make a decision whether you want to, whether their AD carries are doing a lot of damage, whether they're getting fed like Wukong or anything like that, or if they're doing a lot of magic damage, like let's say they have a Lux or they have, a Cassidon or anybody who's doing a lot of magic damage to your team and you want to try and take more of that damage. You're going to be making an important decision, which would be either getting more armor, preferably since the AD carries are doing a lot of damage and a lot of doing really well. What you're going to be doing is you're going to get a Thorn Mail, and if they do have a lot of magic damage, like in this game right here, if they have a Teemo that's going Madrids, if they have a Wukong that's going Wits End and Madrids and things like that, you want to get more magic resist because that's what all those deal. A Wits End deals magic damage as well as a Madrids deals magic damage. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be getting a very nice item, which would be the Force of Nature. That's a really good item because it gives you move speed. It adds on top of your passive, which would be the health regen. So you can basically, if you have very low health, you can literally make a loop, make a quick loop around the map, and you're already half health, full health. So that definitely does help on top of that move speed. And you really want that move speed because you want to be able to get around in the team fights. You want to be able to be the nuisance, drop down your E, drop down your silence. You basically want to be in the center of the team fight, doing as much damage as you possibly can, as well as soaking up as much damage as you possibly can. And then after that, what you're going to be doing, what I normally do is I normally get a Guardian's Angel, just because that definitely does help with the magic resist and the armor, so it's a great item, as well as it's a nice safety item, so that if you, for some reason, get focused down, which they should actually be focusing you down, not only because you're a tank, but because you do a damage. So they should actually be, because basically because they see an enemy running around in their team fight, and everybody else is, running away, they're gonna go for that enemy that's in the center right there because that's somebody to focus. So that helps you get your team to go around and do the damage from afar as you're getting focused. And then if you for some reason get focused so hard and just can't get away, you have a Guardian's Angel, so it doesn't even matter because you can just keep, staying alive. And right here is a great example of that because as you see, they focus me down pretty hard and I get my Guardian's Angel activation. And because of that, as well as because Udyr comes in here and kind of chases them away, I do not get a death right there and I get to live to take out the wave on the bottom. Right here in this situation, what's going to happen is we're going to, as you see, I kind of zoomed in, we're going to have Kassadin go out and bait. This is a great way to start the initiation of a team fight. What they're going to do is they're actually going to take the bait, which most enemy teams will because they see a juicy little Kassadin running around, and they definitely want to take out that guy. So they take the bait, they run in here, and we just initiate because as you see, they're all spread out. Half of them are to the left, half of them are to the right. Most of them aren't even in the team fight until later. Get them spread out. What I do here though is going to be a little bit of a mistake sort of, which is going to be trying to chase down Teemo when my team needs me down there at the bottom. But regardless, my team was great anyways, and they definitely stood their ground. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to try and run in there. I see Teemo come back. I wanted to chase him away, make sure he's not coming back into the team fight. And I do a silly little judgment there, and I basically do a left right, try and juke myself out, I guess. But then we end up, going back in, and as you see, as in most of the team fights, I'm gonna be in the center of the team fight, chase them down, try and make them scared, try and make them separate, and in turn we go ahead and chase them down because we chase them down one-on-one because we just go ahead and separate the team, make sure they can't do any great tactics together, and I think Shen gets away there. But Garen, because of the items and everything, as you see, I actually sold my Yomu's Ghost Blade for a Infinity's Edge because I basically thought that, hey, the main reason why I got the Yomu's Ghost Blade is because of the move speed, but I don't really need that. I thought I needed a little bit more damage because everybody's getting a little bit more tankiness because they saw that we were definitely creaming them in the team fight, so they wanted to get a little bit more beefiness. So I decided to go a little bit more on the attack. And what we're gonna do here is, because we're so beefy, we can just run into their base, take them out. We're just basically just cleaning up the game right here. And the game is actually coming to an end right here. We're taking out their base, and as you see, I can literally just go around, take 2 turret hits, basically take 2 turrets with ease, not even worrying about it because I'm just so gosh darn tanky. And then we have Baron buff, so I can literally just walk out of the base and walk right back in and I will have full health. And that is why Garen is so dangerous, because he has that movability, he has that judgment that does a lot of damage, and he has that silence, and then he has that regen above all, which just makes him just so dangerous. And as you can see right here, I can take a turret late game because I have so much tankiness that it doesn't even matter, barely does damage to me, and we're gonna clean up the game right here. So thank you for watching the Garen guide. Appreciate it. I hope you guys learned a little something. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button up on the top, only because then you can get notified on my next videos, and then you guys can learn a little bit more on different champions as well. So as always guys, have a good one.